What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Crash Blade Gaming. I'm your host, Crash, and we are taking a look at Sandra's control deck. You guys know that I'm a big fan of control decks, so I have to look at the new creation that Sandra has come up with, and it is really built to handle the best decks in the format, like Mew VMAX, like Lugia V-Star, like the Reggies, and it can handle some other things as well, as long as you know what to do and which Pokemon to play and how to play it. So that's what this video is here to highlight. A couple of the other decks that we go against here in this video are ways to highlight and play the deck. If you play Mew and Lugia V-Star the exact same way, you just Yveltal them to death and don't deck out. And then you have to use the other couple things. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to go up against Lugia V-Star. I haven't matched up against any Lugia V-Stars at all in PTCGO. It's crazy. I don't know why I haven't seen any of those. Maybe because everybody's playing it on PTCGL because it's free there, basically. Anyways, enough about that. Let's go ahead and get to the question of the day. Alright friends, let's go over last video's question. This grass-type Pokemon helps its fur perform photosynthesis when grooming itself. Who is this Pokemon? And if you were like the commenters down below, you went ahead and guessed Sprigatito, the grass cat Pokemon that everybody seems to love according to the polls. If you don't participate in the polls, go ahead and try them out. I try to post some polls on a regular basis, see what people like and what they don't like, but you know, they're fun little interactive things that I can do with the community, so I like it. Sprigatito is the answer. Bansox, you were the first person to get this answer correct. You now have 2 points, so you just need one more point to win here. So hopefully some of the other people that are commenting can beat you to it. We'll see. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and get into this video's question. And here it is. This fire-type Pokemon evolves into one of two forms, depending on which kind of armor you give it. Who is this Pokemon? Go ahead and leave your answer in the comment section down below. Remember, you have to be the first person with the correct answer to get the point on your way all the way to 3 points to earn the prize. And hey, if you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel. We're on the road to 300, getting there pretty quickly, I think so. We've gotten a lot of subscribers since we hit 200, so it's great. Awesome, thank you all for that. And if you are enjoying the content, go ahead and leave a like. It helps exposure of the channel, which is something that we want to do to grow. So yeah, good luck in the contest, and let's get into the deck list. Here is Sandra's deck that he took to the recent tournament, which was built around the Eldegoss V Infinite Loop engine, which is awesome. So Eldegoss has an ability to get a supporter from our discard pile and put it into our hand, but we also have the float up attack, which means we can shuffle this Pokemon, all cards attached to it, into the deck, so we can never deck out. But we also have some interesting cards in here that make this deck function a lot better. We have Greedent V, which is good for the crunch attack, does 40 damage. Really, we're only going to be doing 20 damage because we're going to attach a double turbo energy to it. But we get to discard an energy from our opponent's active Pokemon. So this is really good in matchups where you're not going up against Mew, or you're not going up against Lugia, or you're not going up against the Reggies. And this serves the purpose for everything else, I believe. We have one copy of Miltank, obviously to block the V Pokemon damages. We have one copy of Pidgeot to also help us not deck out with the Vanishing Wings ability. We can put this card onto our bench and shuffle it back into the deck with any cards attached to it. Of course, we have 3 copies of Gormandizing Snorlax to help us dig through our deck in the early games, and 4 copies of Yveltal so that we could deal with all the Lugias. If you know anything about the last tournament, the top, like, 20 players were all Lugia players. Well, Cry of Destruction says, no, we're going to discard all of your special energy because we play 4 of these. There's no way around it. We also have Radiant Gardevoir because actually taking 20 less damage from Pokemon V is super important in this deck, because we also play Cape of Toughness. So if we can survive a turn with a basic Pokemon, we're doing pretty solid there. Eiscue's in here for, of course, the Lunatone matchups, the Reggie matchups. Any matchup that only uses basic Pokemon, Eiscue will just sit in the front and take the dub there. It's also good for the Lost Zone box matchup as well if they're not playing Giratina. And the reason is because we have one copy of Wash Energy. This is like Big Parasol, where they cannot do any effects to the Pokemon, so Sableye can't touch it, and Cramorant can't hit it, as long as you're able to use Block Face. So Eiscue's in here really good. One copy of Pyukumuku to help us dig through our deck, and one copy of Manaphy because we are also susceptible to some bench damage. Now, the rest of the deck is pretty control-y. Oops, I don't want to scroll that far down, I just want to scroll that much. 2 Crushing Hammers, 2 Scoop Up Nets, 4 Quick Balls, 1 Pal Pad, 1 Lost Vacuum. This is good to get rid of pesky stadiums like Training Court. Training Court can ruin this strategy, so this is one way to get rid of it. And other tool cards that are also annoying. We also have 1 copy of Hisuian Heavy Ball, 4 copies of Trekking Shoes to help us think through our deck. Of course, 1 Ultra Ball, 2 Yell Horn so that we can confuse our opponent's active Pokemon, making it harder for them to KO our Pokemon. 2 Galar Mine so that it's harder for our Pokemon to retreat. 2 Bird Keeper because we love to switch. 1 Boss's Orders to help us stall. 1 Bruno. 1 copy of Cheren's Care to help us not get KO'd like our Greedents, our Pidgeots, things that we need to pick up and get out of there. Some Snorlax, sometimes 3 copies of Chorus's Experiment, because sometimes just picking the right cards is all you need. 1 copy of Silene, which is part of the infinite loop here. You want to get back your Pal Pads. Where is the Pal Pad? There is the Pal Pad. You want to get back your Pal Pad so you can loop Silene, and you can also use Eldegoss to loop Silene as well. So, good things like that happen. 1 copy of Flannery so we can discard a special energy from our opponent's Pokemon and get rid of a pesky Stadium as well, which is awesome. Bringing me to Sydney, which also lets us discard energy from our opponent's hand, or Pokemon Tool cards, or Stadium cards. Cards that would affect our deck in a negative way, we have a way to get to it. And we also have 1 copy of Forest Sealstone. That allows us to pick up any card we need. We just attach it to one of our V Pokemon, and boom, we have the card we want. 1 Lucky Egg, just because we can draw some cards that's in there. And the Energy Suite, Cape of Toughness to give us plus 50 HP for most of our Pokemon. And a Peonia, of course, to get the cards out of the prize cards that we need. So, this is Xander's control deck. Unfortunately, I was not able to go up against any Lugia decks, but the way you play this deck is really similar to how you go up against Mew. And for some reason, I match up with all the Mews. And some Vicavolt deck. So yeah, that's it. Let's go ahead and watch it in action. Oricorio, we're going up against good old Mew. Yveltal is going to come in and just get rid of all the energies. And then we're just going to have our opponent deck out. That's how this match is going to go. We love these control decks from Sander. He has such great ideas when it comes to decks like this. So, hopefully we don't bust on our Silene, and we should be all good to go. See if they attach any energy this turn. If they attach an energy this turn, I may go Yveltal. However, I definitely have to get another Pokemon down. That's for sure. Otherwise, we're going to get KO'd. And we don't want that, so might have to even use Silene to get back some Trekking Shoes. I don't know, because we can't even draw it either. Ugh, I don't want to bench Pyukumuku. We might have to bench Pyukumuku. Now that I look at this, and we might have to lose our Pyukumuku because we don't have a Pokemon to put on the bench behind Snorlax. So, hopefully we get into a quick ball off of our top deck plus Trekking Shoes. That's 3 cards we get to see. Maybe one of those will be a basic. We'll find out here. Our opponent is pretty well set up. They got rid of a Roxanne, which doesn't matter to us. It would have been a dead card in their hand for most of the game anyways. But let them draw through their deck. Let them get some energies. I don't mind. I don't mind losing this Snorlax. We have a DTE in our hand. Let them... The more they extend their deck, the quicker this game will be. I think this is pretty much an auto win. As long as we don't get donked here on turn 2. That's all we need to worry about for now. And then eventually finding our Yveltals. And then just getting rid of the energy. Now, there could be this Mew that plays Training Court. Well, I guess they just wanted to get rid of cards in their hand. Cross Switch is a good card to see put in the loss zone. It's funny that they played their path to do that, but okay. We'll take it. That's fine. A-okay with me. Getting rid of a lot of cards. They're still trying to draw. Maybe they aren't hitting an energy. They missed an energy this turn. We top deck an Yveltal, which I like to see. Let's go ahead and attach the Lucky Egg to Snorlax. We will Trekking Shoes. We'll get another Trekking Shoes. That's fine. We'll go ahead and go for another one. I don't think we need the Twin Energy, so we can discard that. Cheren's Care plus Pyukumuku. Let's pitch the Pyuku. And then we get a Research. Do I like Research here more? Yveltal, yeah, we'll play down the Yveltal. We'll go ahead and play the Research now. I actually don't mind it. This helps us set up a little bit more. Galar Mine is great. And there's no reason to do anything else, but we can Gormadize for 1. This sticks them in the active. There's Eldegoss, which is a good card to have. We also have Bird Keeper, so that when they start attaching energy, we already have the Yveltal to get rid of their stuff. But we might be playing Chorus's Experiment next turn. I can always scoop up the Snorlax Fortunately, Lucky Egg doesn't really do much for us this turn, but we got it out of our hand, which is okay. And there's a Mew VMAX. Do they get the energies they need this turn? There is a Karamatic that could also go for a boss's orders on our Yveltal, which is okay. We are perfectly fine with that. This could also just have gotten them an Elisa Sparkle or energy. They do get energy. Do they have boss already in hand? Drawing for 2. They would have played boss if they already had it. So they're digging for boss. Another lost vacuum. Oh no, there goes our Galar mine. That's okay. Oh, that Marnie would have been great for us. I would have loved the Marnie. Okay, they can draw 2 more cards now. They've only used 1 Genesect, I believe. Ultra Ball will let them draw 5 more cards. This could get them into the boss orders. I know they are digging for it, because they really need to knock out this Yveltal. But we also have Crushing Hammer in our hand too, which is fine. Chorus's Experiment. We can also play down the Eldegoss if we have to. And we can silene back the Yveltals anyways, which is hilarious. Ah, Forest Sealstone. That'll get them exactly what they want. That'll go for the boss's orders for sure. If they play it, they could only be playing Serenas. I don't know. Or they already have boss's orders in hand. That's fine with me. So we can play the Crushing Hammer this turn. Knock that off. We have 6 prizes to go. As long as we have Pokemon on our bench, we are A-okay. Do need to draw into more stuff though. Definitely want to get another Pokemon on the bench. I don't want to bench Eldegoss, to be honest. Not yet, at least. Technoblast, that's fine with me. We lose an Yveltal. No problem. Nothing we are worried about. There's a Peonia. Don't think we played Peonia yet. Let's go Crushing Hammer. We do. We got it. Get that energy out of here. Chorus's Experiment. Miltank is great. Don't want to lose more energies. I think we just get another Chorus's Experiment. Don't know what's in the prizes, and that would be really good to check. We also have Bird Keeper anyways. I think I'm okay with losing a Chorus's Experiment here. Let's see what we heavy ball. Another Snorlax. Boss's orders. Our other Galar mine is prize. So is the Cape of Toughness, and our last Chorus Experiment plus the Crushing Hammer as well. We'll do that. We'll play the Wash Energy because we don't really need it. And then we can Gormandize just for another card, unfortunately. So many energies in the hand. There's Radiant Gardevoir, which actually helps Max Miracle only hit for 110, and then they lose -20 again for another double turbo energy, so they only hit for 90, which keeps Miltank a little bit alive, which is hilarious. So Radiant Gardevoir would be awesome. They do flip tails on this Chromatic, which is good for us. Ooh, they got another Cram. And they flip another Tails. Good. They are 1 for 3 on the Crams, which is good for us. They need to dig for more energies. We need to find our Yveltals. Star Alchemy will get them exactly what they want, though. Which in this case, if it is another double turbo energy and a boss's orders on the Miltank, and there goes our little stall option, which is fine. There's the DTE. Do they have another boss? I'd imagine they do. They only played 1. And Mew normally plays at least 2 to 3 bosses. There's a power tablet. Maybe they don't. Maybe they have to draw for it. Okay, they are drawing for it. Getting closer and closer to our victory as they get closer and closer to the end of their deck. Path to the Peak plus... Ooh, they should have kept that path. That would have shut off our Radiant Gardevoir. If they don't find a boss, our Miltank is good. We lose Snorlax, which is fine. Don't mind. I don't mind losing this Snorlax. Actually, this Mew can't attack. They attach the energy to the wrong Mew, which is hilarious. Straight up hilarious. Oh, we get Marnie. There goes my Radiant Gardevoir, but that's okay. That Marnie puts my energies back in the deck, which is awesome. We also have Lucky Egg too, so if they do somehow get a KO, it's there. There's an Yveltal. We can quick ball for a couple Yveltals here. Oh no, there goes my Lucky Egg. What a bummer. Do they find a switch to get this Mew to attack? That's a pain. That's a pain. We had Lucky Egg. We were good. Though we do have Quick Ball to get double Yveltal out, which is awesome. And we have another Snorlax to go into, which is great. And our opponent is down to 5 cards in deck. One of these cards has to be a switch for them to be able to attack. They've gotten rid of 2 switching cards already. They're down at least 2 cross switchers. So that means that they either have 2 cross switchers in deck or 1 is prized. I think they only play a couple switching cards in the cross switcher set, but they might have 1 prized, which is hilarious. If our opponent doesn't attack this turn, that's even better for us. We can quick ball away this Eiscue. We don't need it. We have Pal Pad to get back Silene and Colress's Experiment and Research. They retreat into the Oricorio, which doesn't matter for us too much. And we get a Cape of Toughness. Let's go ahead and throw that on. Let's see how many power tablets have they used. 1, 2, 3. Well, Technoblast KOs Yveltal, so let's just put this on Miltank. Let's quick ball away the Eiscue. We can grab... Don't need Radiant Gardevoir anymore. We can grab double Yveltal. Play those down. We can also Pal Pad. We'll put back in Silene and Colress's Experiment. Nah, Research. Colress's Experiment. No, Cheren's Care. Those seem better. And then we Gorman Dice for 7. Our opponent's down to 5 cards. We actually haven't even had to discard their energy. It seems they're not playing any Fusion Strike energy. They're not. They're only playing double turbos. Ah, so they're playing 1 at a time. Very well, my good friend. You can play 1 at a time all you want. We have the good old Miltank. We have Cheren's Care. We have Greedent. We have ways to discard it. There's a Cram. They lose an Echoing Horn. They could have played that on the Eiscue or Yveltal, but they chose not to. I don't know. I think I would have done. This might get them their switch to KO or Snorlax. Boss up one of the Yveltals. They definitely have more energies in the deck. There's at least 2 more. Or one of them is prized, something like that. But we have Bird Keeper. We have ways to do this. We have ways to get ourselves the dub here. And we only can give them... Let's see, if they attack every turn, they take a prize now, they go down to 4, we knock off the energy. They take another prize, go down to 3, we knock off the energy. They put 2 energies into play. So, they take a prize this turn, they go to 4, we knock off 2 energies, they're left with 1. And they can only possibly get 1 more KO. So we need to find another Yveltal. Which I don't think it was prized because I would have grabbed it with Heavy Ball. So the other Yveltal's in the deck, which means this Quick Ball is super important. Which means Cry of Destruction is going to do some work here. Which is fantastic for us. See if our opponent has a way to switch. They do Serena. They're just going to deck out. Unless they have like an Ordinary Rod or they just draw 1. I guess their last switch is in the deck. I don't know. They pass. Okay. Well, then that just means we Bird Keeper into Yveltal here. Cool. Attach the Twin Energy. Cry of Destruction. Say bye-bye to your energies. That's realistically all we have to do. If we could have played Sydney this turn, we could have got rid of the last energy in their hand, and that's game over. Mew just got completely wrecked by her Yveltal, and there you have it. Okay, our opponent starts with the Drapion, so we don't know what we're playing against, but it is a bad thing that we start with Greedent here. We're going to go ahead and pitch the Pyukumuku. And I think I'm most likely going to research next turn. We are going to lose a lot of supporters, though, so that's going to be a little bit of a pain. But let's go ahead and quick ball away this Chorus's Experiment. And we want to drop down a Snorlax so that we can get going a little bit faster next turn. And say done. Now, we could leave Greedent in the active. I could lose my Cheren's Care and just kind of lose Greedent here. Could also retreat it. There's a Stormy Mountains. Still not quite sure what we're playing against, but Crushing Hammer might come in handy if they attach to the active Vicavolt. Vicavolt's a little scary, but it's not unbeatable. Good to see an Ordinary Rod go away. If they play Training Court, that's going to be a little bit trickier for us. So let's see. What do we want to do here? Greedent is going to actually be a really good attacker because we can knock off all the lightning energy from Vicavolt. So hopefully they play an energy. They do have some way to recycle energy here. But right now it's just the Stormy Mountains because they wouldn't be discarding so much energy if they didn't have a way to get some of it back. They did lose one Ordinary Rod though. We also need to figure out how to get a Pokemon stuck in the active. Maybe Regieleki VMAX is a good Pokemon to get stuck in the active at some point. I really want them to attach an energy though because I would like to use the Crushing Hammer. Okay, good. They do attach an energy. Crushing Hammer is good for that energy. We can try to hit it. They use Star Alchemy already, so there goes their V-Star power, which is also good for us. We don't have to worry about that in the late game. Now, I would like to boss up the Regieleki VMAX at some point when it evolves. We need to get down Radiant Gardevoir as well. There's a Melanie. Oh, do they have the turn 2 Vicavolt? Oh no. I'd imagine they would because why would they use their... They don't. Well, okay then. Go ahead and Crushing Hammer. We flip heads. We're going to get rid of that energy. We are going to quick ball away the Bird Keeper. Get ourselves a Miltank. Now I do know Radiant Greninja can attack. Actually, we're going to go with Radiant Gardevoir. Stormy Mountains doesn't get us anything, and then we can research here. Okay. Interesting. There's the DTE for Greedent. Go ahead and Trekking Shoes. We don't need that. Peony is interesting. Trekking Shoes again. We do need that. Let's go ahead and pitch the Pyukumuku. Draw one more card. Another DTE. I could retreat into Snorlax if I wanted to. Pal Pad back in Cheren's Care and Bird Keeper. I could retreat into Snorlax. Draw some more cards. Let's not say we did. We're just gonna crunch. Hit for 20. Next turn we could possibly do a Stumbling Press, which would be hitting for 160, which is hilarious. Alright, concealed card. So they do need to find a way to get some energies back. They most likely play Training Court, which means we need to find our lost vacuum to get it out of play. There is another energy. There's a Melanie. Maybe Melanie's the only way they play energy retrievals. They can Melanie to Drapion if they want to. No, they Melanie to Regieleki. So we also have to be careful Regieleki. It is an attacker after all. There's a switching cart. Okay. So we're going to get rid of this lightning energy for sure. Paralyzing Bolt is actually only going to do 30 damage to us if they don't find the Regieleki VMAX. they do find the VMAX, which I think this Ultra Ball is going to get, it's going to be doing 60 to us, which we can hold off for a few turns. Regieleki VMAX has how much retreat? None. Hilarious. Okay. We could completely get this Vicavolt out of here, but I know they play Training Court. I have a huge feeling they play Training Court, so I do not want to use Flannery just yet. So we're going to go ahead and Chorus. Crushing Hammer is great. Oh. A Yell Horn I can't crunch. Can't use Crushing Hammer though. And I can't use Yell Horn, so let's get these. Okay. Sydney might be a good attacker next turn. So we do that, and then we go ahead and crunch. Hit him for 20, discard that energy. Don't know if they play any basic lightning. I'm sure they do. They might not though. There is a basic lightning, okay. They can't Melanie that's on anyways. They can't use Super Zap Cannon, so we're not worried about it. Next turn we can play Sydney here and hope to get some special energies out of their hand or stadium cards like Training Court. That would be good. We can also boss up the Drapion as well. Choice Belt onto the Regieleki. They could also start building up Regieleki with the max Thunder and Lightning. Does 220 damage. A boss onto the Snorlax. Okay. Actually, don't mind that at all. That saves my Greedent for a little bit longer. Do I want to play Sydney now then? I don't think so. I think now would be the turn to play Flannery. Not Flannery, Peonia. See what we have in these first 3 prizes. Lost Vacuum is a good card to get. Bruno is also interesting, so we can put back this Yveltal. We can put back a double turbo. And I think we can put back the Snorlax. Every other card is kind of useful. I think we do that. And then we just pass. Then we pass. We're okay. Pass, we're okay. Try to do what we gotta do. And hope for the best here. And see what happens. And see what happens. Now they could actually use Super Zap Cannon here to KO our Vicavolt. They are charging up that Regieleki. They do Marnie me. That's a bummer. Had Sydney. Had Flannery. Boss's Orders would have been great next turn as well. We're still item locked. Don't need this Manaphy, but I can't get rid of it. We can play Pyukumuku. Good with me. Chorus's Experiment. Let's go ahead and pitch the Pyuku. Bird Keeper's tricky, but I think we do it. Bird Keeper. Oh, if only I had the Yell Horn. I can't play it though. Now, Galar Mine is interesting. I could definitely play Galar Mine. And I can also do Stumbling Press at some point. We're going to play Galar Mine. And we're going to crunch. Hit for 20. Get rid of that lightning energy. We have 220 HP left, so a few more turns before I can Stumbling Press, which is fun. They still have another lightning energy, unfortunately. I do have a Cape of Toughness, though, which does increase my HP a little bit. They do boss. Who are they going for? Are they going for the Snorlax? That's fine. I prefer them to take 1 prize over 2. Absolutely okay with this. I can't play Cape of Toughness. Here's a Chorus's Experiment. Miltank's good. Galar Mine, Eldegoss, of course. Those are cards we need. Let's go ahead and crunch again. Just keep on crunching away these lightning energies, and this is how this game is going to go. You can definitely play the Miltank at some point. They just keep having lightning energies. They play a lot of energy in this deck. That is insane how much energy they play. Let's throw down the Miltank. 200 HP. Crunch again. Get rid of another lightning energy. 1, 5. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 lightning energies in their deck. Is this going to be a 7th one? A 7th lightning energy. They play a lot of lightning energy. Oh my goodness. That is a lot of lightning energy that they play, but we do have Miltank to be able to tank the rest of the hits here. Oh, they're going into Regieleki, and they Marnie me. There goes, I guess, nothing too much that I care about. They need to find a way to remove the Galar or have a switch. Cheren's care is actually really nice here. I can pick up the Greedent and put Miltank up there and just hold this in hand. Just funny. And our opponent concedes. We got him. I guess they didn't play Training Court, which is good for us. That's how this deck rolls. Ooh, there's the Mew. Alright, we're going first up against Mew again. Let's go ahead and Trekking Shoes. No, we don't want Colors to Experiment. Cheren's care is interesting. Oh, I'd hate to lose Eldegoss. We're gonna lose Eldegoss here. We can get rid of Lost Vacuum. Oh no, we don't necessarily have to lose Eldegoss. I can have a Snorlax. Let's do Snorlax, Miltank, Twin Energy on Eldegoss, retreat into Snorlax, and Gormandize. Woo! Save the day. We saved the day. Oh, we don't have a way to get into a Yveltal just yet, but that's okay. Miltank plus Cape of Toughness can take a hit from Mew as long as they utilize all of their power tablets. And, you know, I tried to find other games, but Mew just came up, and it's going to be a good one. Just show off the deck. I mean, I'm also trying to find Lugia, and I can't match up against Lugia for some reason, but this deck does the same exact thing to Lugia, which is hilarious. Alright, they have Fusion Strike energy this time. The last Mew deck we played only played double turbo energy, so this is good. We just need to find ourselves an Yveltal. An Yveltal would be great. Actually, this Meloetta goes through our Miltank as well. So we have to be fairly careful. Lost City, no, not my Snorlax. How could you? How could you Lost City my Snorlax, bro? Alright, let's go up with Eldegoss. Another Bird Keeper. We can play Yell Horn. Might as well. And then we can Bird Keeper into the Miltank. There's our Yveltal that we'll play next turn. Actually, are we KOing this? 20 more damage for each of your punch bench Pokemon. 20, 40, 60, 80. We are. Cape of Toughness, Twin Energy, Knockout. That's 2 energy Yveltal doesn't even have to worry about anymore. And they lose their Meloetta to the Lost Zone. And we get an Yveltal off the prizes. Okay. Cool. Cool. They can boss up the Eldegoss all they want. We're okay. No, they can't. If we lose our Eldegoss, we lose... Oh, they Marnie me. No. We have Yveltal, Bird Keeper, everything in our hand. Radiant Gardevoir. Galar Mine is good. That's a stadium replacement. Forest Silstone is not good for us. They don't even need to use it yet. That'll get them a double turbo energy, but they won't have enough damage to KO us. Just yet. We do need to definitely bounce the Lost City. ASAP. Oh no, there goes our cape. Oh no. Our Cape of Toughness, that's no bueno. So Lost Zone really does affect our matchups here. Now, Max Miracle's only doing 110, which is just enough to to get the KO on our Miltank. Oh, if only we had Radiant Gardevoir down as well. Cross Fusion Strike. Here comes the Max Miracle. Good thing we have Galar Mine. And hopefully we find a way to get our Eldegoss off the field. Okay. Let's go ahead and Trekking Shoes. Cape of Toughness will help Eldegoss survive just in case. Trekking Shoes again. Don't need Eiscue. Double Turbo Energy. Okay. Let's do that. Let's go into Chorus's Experiment. Quick Ball is needed. Scoop Up Net will be needed. I don't think I need Peonia or Greedent. Unless certain things are prized. I don't know what my prizes look like. Oh, brother! If I don't take the Quick Ball, I take Peonia. And then I lose because Radiant Gardevoir gets KO'd. They haven't used any of their things yet. I need this. Let's get rid of that. Let's go with this. Galar Mine. Quick Ball the Peonia. Get a Snorlax. Play the Snorlax. And then we can just get rid of the Cape of Toughness, Double Turbo Energy, load up, get this Eldegoss out of here. Go up with the Radiant Gardevoir. Okay. Need to find my Yveltals and ways to get them around. Definitely need to do that. Okay, they Pal Pad at least a Sparkle and Marnie back in. Totally cool with those. Silene. They get a Pal Pad back if they want. It's going to be tough to get this deck out. Silene can get back energies. They got a Pal Pad back. That's no bueno for us. Cross Fusion Strike into the Techno Blast for the KO. Cool with that. Radiant Gardevoir might have survived to put Cape of Toughness. Interesting. Flannery is good. Discard a special stadium from your opponent's Pokemon and discard a stadium in play. I don't want to discard the stadium in play though, so let's Chorus's Experiment. Okay. Like those cards indeed. Have to play that. Let's just do that and Gormandize for 7. For 5, sorry. We do have another Yveltal in hand, which is good. Because they're probably going to boss the one that I just played. And so here we are. A little bit trickier than the last matchup, that's for sure. They can try to KO this Snorlax. Okay, do they have a couple switching cards? Pal Pad again? A second Pal Pad? Oh no, they just drew that from Silene. Okay. Quick Ball, sure. So they bossed our Yveltal. They need to find switching cards because Galar Mine's in play. They definitely can thin out their hand, which they're doing, which is good for us. Gets them closer to decking out. Let's see if they find switches. They need 2 switching cards, or a switch and an energy to this Mew. We're okay with it though. This is 2 more energies that I can discard with the next Yveltal if they don't find a switch. So we're all good. Oh, they're drawing 1 card from Fusion Strike System. I believe they have 1 more. Star Alchemy, I forgot that they have not used that yet. This will find them their switch. They think they're in the clear, but they're not. Oh, Lost City. Lost City's not a switch. Lost City works, but it doesn't get the KO. Damage decreased to 110. They had a misplay there and they go ahead and concede. Oh, brother. It's okay. We still had another Yveltal ready to go in the background anyways. So I think we would have won that matchup in the end anyway. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching me beat up against Mew, of course. Watch me beat up against that Vicavolt deck where they had to concede because they were running out of energies. I thought they would play Training Court, but they didn't. So good for us. We had answers to it anyways, but good for us that they didn't. And Mew just, Mew just can't keep up. When Mew loses all of its energies, it's just no bueno from you. So yeah, that's the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. And we'll see you next time on Crash Played Gaming.